the Education Program Leader for the National Music Center, coming at you today from Studio Bell. I can safely say that I've never mastered an instrument. Where my skill lies is playing many instruments kind of all right. But there is a whole category of instrument that I have never tried, double reeds. So this week, I am going to try to learn an instrument that I have never played before, an oboe. I have a few days. Let's see how far I can get. So I went to my local music store and rented an oboe for the week. Let's see what you get. The oboe comes in 3 pieces. It seems so small. I was kind of expecting it to be the size of a clarinet, but it's a lot slimmer. Also comes with some cork grease and the reed. I have a lot of training on the saxophone, which is a single reed instrument. With those, you take the reed and attach it to a mouthpiece, and then it slaps against the mouthpiece when you blow into it. This is 2 reeds tied together with a piece of string and attached to this little tube. See what happens if I just try it. Of course, I am playing this dry, and double reeds you have to soak. I live in Alberta where it is very dry, so I am going to put it in this cup of water for about 5 minutes. While I'm doing that, let's put the rest of the oboe together. This is the hole that the double reed sticks into. So that will attach here. But let's make sure that there's enough cork grease on there because we don't want our instrument to get stuck. Then here is the bell on the end. Something like that. So really this is a very similar size to a flute. I can see that it is a slight cone. It's not a strong cone, but it's definitely conical. And the bell has a funny bubble at the end. Okay, moisten this. Someone on YouTube told me to make a whistling shape with my mouth, or like you're sucking through a straw. And then the trick is going to be how much pressure to put on this and where exactly to put that pressure. Something I definitely remember about the oboe players in band is that their face was always red with the effort of breathing. Go snugly in there. And then this should be flat with all my keys in my hand. Definitely some muscle strain in this area of my cheek. The fingering seems to be fairly similar to saxophones and flutes and all that. So tonight I'll spend some time with a fingering chart. Let's see where I can get to by tomorrow. So far I like it. So yesterday I went on the internet and looked up a fingering chart. Fingering chart shows you where to place your fingers to get each note. Now there's a lot of information on this chart, and you will not want to try to learn every single one of these notes right away. In general, with a keyed instrument, the more fingers you put down, the lower the pitch. And then usually there's some kind of octave key, which will vent a small hole near the top, and that will allow you to play even higher notes. The notes in the middle of the register will be much easier to play than the notes at the very bottom and the notes at the very top. I'll really just want to pick a scale and learn those notes. Along with the fingering chart, you may want to find some kind of tuner. I have one on my phone. It would be nice if wind instruments were always in tune, but they're not. Another thing that will be difficult when you start is starting and stopping the note. You actually use your tongue to touch the tip of the reed. It might feel more natural to stop the note by just stopping the airflow. That's actually hard to do with quick notes. I have quite a bit of practice with this because you use the same technique on a saxophone, just touching the tip with your tongue. But if you've never tried this before, it's not going to be easy right away. After about 10 minutes, my mouth gets fatigued and I need to take a break. On day 3, I'm finding it a little bit easier to generate notes. Let's take a look at the oboe's sound print in the spectrogram. One thing that strikes me about the oboe's sound print is how loud the overtones are. Some of these overtones are louder than the main note or the fundamental. So I'd consider the oboe to be a bright instrument, but not because it has more overtones, but because the overtones come through loud and clear. It almost sounds like the refined cousin of the bagpipe. And if you were to open bagpipes up, you would find double reeds inside of them, so the source of vibration is very similar. I'm also going to say this might be my new desert island instrument, because if I was ever stuck on a desert island, I could use this to spear fish. This thing's sharp. Remember, kids, don't run while you oboe. This will be my last day. I could keep going, but it's Thursday and I have to edit. So after spending a few days with my first double reed instrument, I must say it's quite cool. You will have to put work into airflow, the muscles in your mouth, or your embouchure, key placement. And you're going to have to be very tolerant of sour notes. It often wants to jump to one of the harmonics or one of the overtones. So be prepared for it not to sound great for the first little while. But if you can work past that, it has a very unique and beautiful tone. Wonderful instrument. 3.5 stars. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and/or subscribe. Also, the National Music Centre is a charity that relies on donations, so if you have the means and feel like it, please go to studiobell.ca/donate.